Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to Drawing Down the Stars. I'm Snappy, and thank you for joining me for our live tarot session on today, July 29th. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day, and thank you so much for coming out. Let's start by giving a shout out here to everyone in the chat. Good to see you, Isaac. Hello, Lisa. Much love, Graham. Good evening, Nikosmas. Good to see you, Dorian. Much love, Beatnik. Good to see you, Carrie. Much love, Gandhi. Great to see you, Christy. Good to see you, Iskander. Amazing. All right. Oh, good to see you, Ajna Egyptian. Amazing. Beautiful. All right. So we're going to start by talking a bit about the astrology. So we just had a transition today where the moon has moved into Gemini. So we're moving out of that family energy, that grounded energy, that stubborn, that bull energy, that deep earth, right? Into this fluid flowing duality of Gemini, the communicative, the intellectual, the mystical, right? With the moon in our Gemini, we can really pursue that kind of intellectual thinking. We can really think about things deeply and mystically and really expand our perspectives and listen to others and reflect upon what they may have to say. It's really profound energy. And again, we still have this sun in Leo, that bright, shining, confident lion energy where we can be our unique self and we can pursue our passions and our dreams. We just need to be cautious not to be overly egoic or overly aggressive, keep ourselves in balance. And this Gemini energy is a really interesting way to channel that Leo into these intellectual pursuits, into things that will inspire us. And when I was drawing for the energy today, and I was meditating upon the cards this morning, I drew the energy of the Empress. But reflecting upon the Empress, I really got the Empress in her most primordial form, which is nature itself, Gaia, the earth, right? That power of creation and generation, right? Is that feminine energy in its absolute natural state. And we really need to learn how to listen and connect with nature. So much of our modern lives, like in a modern society, we've really removed the natural world from our lives. We've disconnected. We define ourselves as entirely separate rather than apart. And we, as a consequence, now struggle to see the flow, now struggle to connect and be able to move with that deep intuition. We struggle to be able to understand the nature of cycles and transformation because we're not in touch with the seasonal changes of the world around us. And we no longer see our place in that natural order because we've disturbed that natural order. We've created a new order, right? And it's an order that we don't even want to take responsibility for, even though we're responsible for it. It's a very intense moment, And while I was thinking about this, I always go to poetry, and it made me think of one of my favorite poets, which is the Irish poet A.E. or George William Russell. I recently discovered them, actually, because a friend, Rob, had mentioned them, and I've just been loving their poetry. And there's this one poem that stood out to me that I think is really apt for this moment. And George William Russell was a mystic too, and a theosophist, really interesting character. So the poem is called Natural Magic. It says, we are tired who follow after fantasy and truth that flies. You with only look and laughter stain our hearts with richest dyes. When you break upon our study, vanish all our frosty cares, as the diamond deep grows ruddy, filled with morning unawares. With the stuff that dreams are made of, but an empty house we build, glooms we are ourselves afraid of, by the ancient starlight chilled. All unwise in thought or duty, still our wisdom envies you. We who lack the living beauty hath our secret knowledge rue. Thought nor fear, in you nor dreaming, veil the light with mist about. Joy, as through a crystal gleaming, flashes from the gay heart out. Pain and penitence forsaking, hearts like cloisters dim and gray, by your laughter lured awakening, join with you the dance of day. Right? The dance of day. To be inspired by that light, right? Helios, that to be transformed and to listen and to be able to move in harmony with that natural world rather than to be afraid, rather than to break apart from it. And if you can learn to move and flow, you can learn to manifest your true magical ability, And Medea, right? Someone mentioned Medea in the chat. Medea is that priestess of Hecate, right? That one who can draw that power of the sun, who can sing that song and compose and teach others how to sing it, right? The song that's written on the golden fleece, right? The song we all wish to harmonize with. That's that true fiery natural magic, learning to move and flow, to find that middle path and to ride it, right? And when you move and flow with the universe, everything moves with you, Beautiful. It's to be guided by that muse, right? Okay. Oops, 1 second. Oh, sorry. I'm a bit clumsy today, apparently. Okay. All right. We're now going to do our sortes. To begin, we're going to start with Don Juan in Hell. This is a section taken from Shaw's masterpiece, Man and Superman. Really impressive and fun play. And this is a fun collection that was lent to me by my partner. So I'm really happy to share this with you. Muses, guide my hand. What is the message from Shaw? It is a dig at a much higher power than you, Commander. Still, you must have noticed in your profession that even a stupid general can win battles when the enemy's general is a little stupider. It is a dig at a much higher power than you, Commander. Still, you must have noticed in your profession that even a stupid general can win battles when the enemy's general is a little stupider. The message here that I'm getting is twofold, right? On one hand, we need to look to those higher powers to think about the reactions, what's really moving the universe. Why are things unfolding the way that they're unfolding? Makes me think of cycles and patterns and all of that kind of magic, And then on the same time, right, you must have noticed in your profession that even a stupid general can win battles when the enemy's general is a little stupider. It's not about being the smartest person in the room. It's about applying reason and applying reason as best as you can, using your reason more than those around you, right? That is going to give you true strength and a leg up in the world around you. Forget about being smart. Pursue reason and be transformed by it. The more you chase it, the more you will be able to apply it, and intelligence will naturally follow. And then soon, all of a sudden, you'll be old and reflecting, and people will be looking at you as a wise one. All right, let's continue. We're going to go to my dear friend Graham's book, The Shape of My Will. All right. Muses, guide my hand. What is the message from dear Graham? Inspire us this evening. Okay. Do not mourn my passing. Be glad that I am finally free. Oof. Oof. Do not mourn my passing. Be glad that I am finally free. Right. This is a hard lesson for us all, but it is a true lesson. And it is that recognition that death is an ending and it's a beautiful transformation, right? It's the ending out of one cycle and the beginning of something new. And there is always beauty in that freedom, in that ending, the ending of suffering. You know, a lot of us do not like to think about these things, that life can bring suffering, that death can bring an end to suffering, that death can bring a needed transformation and an ending of a cycle, you know, and sometimes it's a good thing, you know. Too often I feel in our culture we've sheltered ourselves from death and the dying. You know, my mother used to work in hospice and she would be around people who are near the end. And it is far more beautiful than you would think. And there's far more magic and love in those moments than we are led to believe. It is not this scary thing often. It's often a beautiful acceptance and a relaxing moment of transformation, of ending. And it's a familial time of coming together. It doesn't have, you know, death can be beautiful. And we need to be able to see that. You know, so much of the magical path is about learning to see the perspectives of everything, to recognize how death can be beautiful and necessary and transformative. That's not to deny the painful, right? That's not to deny the scary, but to see it in its totality, or as close to as its totality as you can grasp, right? Beautiful. Okay, let's continue. We're going to go to Ore by Gabriel Macari. Muses, guide my hand. What is the message from Gabriel? Inspire us this evening. Who can truly measure the inordinate amount of time it took for the intrepid one to have even a single glimpse of the temple's portcullis, let alone reach the moat and breach it? Wow. Who can truly measure the inordinate amount of time it took for the intrepid one to have even a single glimpse of the temple's portcullis, let alone reach the moat and breach it? You know, often we only focus upon the gates in front of us and we forget the battles that brought us to where we are. You know, this is a really important metaphor, these metaphors of the knights and of the hero's journey. We see this reflected deeply in the tarot, right? And what I'm getting here is just this idea of recognizing that even to glimpse the gate ahead, even to see yourself denied, is to have struggled, to have been transformed, to have fought, you know, and to recognize that you can overcome. If you made it to the gate, then can you not get past that too? The question is, maybe you need to rethink how you're approaching. If the gate denies you entry and you cannot move through force, if the portcullis is shut, maybe you need to find the passwords. Maybe you need to think in a different perspective and change your tactics, right? Tribulation forces adaptation, forces innovation, forces us to overcome and adapt. You can do this in your individual life. You do not necessarily need to face the tribulations of war. You can just face the tribulations of regular disciplined life, you know, trying to struggle through the universe. But use these moments and these struggles, these times when you fall forward, as that transformative force. Turn yourself into that knight. Turn yourself into the one who goes through those battles, who crosses that moat, who crosses the bridge, who comes to the gate, and when the gate is denied, they find another way. They go around the gate. Maybe they find a back entry. Maybe they bribe the guard. Maybe they talk to the guard and learn the passwords. Interesting. Lots to think about. Lots to think about. Trials and tribulations. The nature of life, is it not? All right. Artaud, Watch Fiends and Rack Screens. Beautiful collection that was gifted to me by a dear friend. Muses, guide my hand. What is the message from the magical Artaud? Inspire us. It's that your sperm is very good, a cop from the dome said to me one day, who set himself up as a connoisseur. And when one is so good, by God, one pays too much for fame. For probably he emerged from it from this sperm so good, and he had churned and sucked it like everyone else in the world the whole last night. Oh, wow, Artaud. Artaud always gets deep and mystical and wild. And a little bit raunchy. Gotta love it. The vibe here that I'm getting, right? You have to think about the sperm from that mystical standpoint, right? As that divine seed, as the soma, as the dew of the moon, you know? As the good that can be churned and sucked. And this recognition of this power and of that love and lust and transformation. For probably he emerged from it from this sperm so good, and he had churned and sucked it like everyone else in the whole world last night. Right? We all procreate. We were all born. We all have lustful leanings. And we need to learn to embrace these aspects of the self. Right? Get over it. Let's continue. All right. We're going to go to Poe. All right. Muses, what is the message from the divine Poe? Inspire us. The delusion, however, faded as rapidly as it came, and I mention it at all but to define the day of the last conversation I there held with my singular namesake. Wow. The delusion, however, faded rapidly as it came, and I mention it at all but to define the day of the last conversation I there held with my singular namesake. Is this the double? Is this the genius, the higher self? Is the double a delusion or an illusion? Wow. Faded as rapidly as it came. It's very interesting. You know, in much of the magical tradition, we need to be able to connect with that double. You know, I was talking to a client today about that part of the tarot practice is this idea of connecting with the higher self, that personal muse or daimon or genius, whatever language you choose to call it, you know, and recognizing that as your double, as your namesake. And through this conversation, learning to evolve into them. You know, they're yourself that exists outside of time. Such interesting wildness. All right, we're going to go to Lorca. 3 Tragedies. Federico Garcia Lorca is one of the greatest playwrights ever. Blood Wedding is one of my all-time favorites. Everyone should read it. All right, muses, guide my hand. What is the message from Lorca? Inspire us. Do what you want with me, but take care not to set a man's name in my breast. Do what you want with me, but take care not to set a man's name in my breast. Interesting. What does that mean, to set a man's name in my breast, but take care not to set a man's name? Right. To be in love and to be in passion and to flow with someone, that's beautiful and powerful. But to carve and to possess and to take your name into someone is a bit different. And to set someone else's name other than your own, it's almost as if it's about that self-fulfilling nature, It's about love. Don't force this one to love another. Oof. Makes me think of that relationship with the muse. You want to make sure that you're in this communicative relationship, that it's a loving, flowing, and that it's reciprocal, right? Don't put anyone else above, Beautiful. All right, we're going to go to Byron. Let's see. Muses, guide my hand. What is the message from Lord Byron? Inspires. The mountains look on Marathon, and Marathon looks on the sea. And musing there an hour alone, I dreamed that Greece might still be free. For standing on the Persians' graves, I could not deem myself a slave. The mountains look on Marathon, and Marathon looks on the sea. And musing there an hour alone, I dreamed that Greece might still be free. For standing on the Persian's grave, I could not deem myself a slave. Right? Wow. It's about that divine inspiration and about what freedom is, the magic of that democratic freedom, that image of what Greece is now. Greece is this mystical, magical, mythical ideal in many ways. And to think about those mountains, the marathons, to muse upon that dream, that mythical, poetic image, is to dream yourself free, right? It's to free yourself from the tyranny of the present and to imagine a better way, right? Whether or not it is real is irrelevant. It is the ideal and it is the dream that is important, and Greece is a beautiful dream, right? Magic. All right. We're going to go to Euripides, 10 plays. Muses, guide my hand. What is the message? Guide us. Okay, this is an intense message. It is for the mother's sake the goddesses haunt you. It is for the mother's sake the goddesses haunt you. Oof, that's an intense message. Who's that mother, right? Our absolute mother is nature. And it is nature that sends the goddesses, that divine feminine, to haunt us and to recognize our responsibility and our place within that flow. Our place as part of that Rhea, that unfolding of the universe, that nature, right? It is for the mother's sake that the goddesses haunt you, because we are not moving in flow. We do not see ourselves as a part of her, right? It's dangerous energy, and we have to take responsibility. All right. Excuse me. So that is going to be our last sortes today. We are now going to go to our tarot. So as always, we use the Thoth Tarot of Lady Frida Harris and Aleister Crowley. And we're going to do the Saturn Square reading, where we invoke that energy of Saturn Chronos. And we dissect our life. We cut it up and we put it on the plate. We look at our interconnections and we try to see, how do we overcome our conflicts? How do we best evolve? How can we manifest our true will and move in flow? And as always, the center card is the most important. While I was shuffling there, a card popped out and we got the Hierophant. Beautiful, powerful energy, right? The Hierophant is that teacher, Venus in Taurus, that unfolding natural energy that I was talking about. And we're just coming out of the moon in Taurus and now entering this evening in the moon in Gemini. So we're much still feeling this energy, right? This Taurian Venus energy, that natural flow, that true tradition, beautiful. Yeah. And, the Hierophant is about learning, right? It's about learning to listen, to be able to move in flow, to be able to see that true essence, that Venus energy that is operating behind the scenes, and to be able to take authority through that energy. And connecting to that, we have Dominion, the Two of Wands, right? This is us having that power to overcome. We are manifesting our will. We are driving our passion, right? The two is expansive. It can expand in great energy and in force, but it is dual, right? It can be in love or in violence. So it must be wielded with caution, right? Lest it burn you. But you are in control of this energy. Just be careful if you set fires. All right, let's go. Wow. Where are we directing that passionate energy? How are we showing up as this Knight of Cups? That one who's in pursuit of that divine feminine, in pursuit of that transformative love, who is seeking that cup and who is giving their love and emotions freely, right? Giving and receiving, and in movement and in flow. Beautiful energy, right? And the Knight is showing up mature. This is the right energy to approach that Hierophant, to learn these lessons and to be able to move in flow as that Knight, right? To have dominion, to be able to manifest that power and that will. All right, let's see where this is going. Beautiful. The energy is about this pursuit of gain. And it's about that gain that's coming in at the same time, right? It's connected to that Hierophant. When you find this flow, this way of operating as you are meant to, when you find your Tao, your Dharma, your path, your way, it's going to bring incredible gain, right? It's about learning to walk that path, learning to do what you are meant to do, following after the muse. The Hierophant is that one who gives over to that energy and embodies that. All right, let's see. Wow, and with that incredible game will come satiety, fulfillment, emotional, loving fulfillment. The cups overflowing in loving abundance, giving and receiving with love to give in charity, right? Beautiful, powerful. This is communal energy. This is creating something that's truly loving and sharing, right? And it's a result of this game. This is all energy that's playing into one another. Wow. And then we have that 7, valor. So one of the keys to this, right, is learning to move forward in pursuit of that fiery passion, to move forward in that intensity. Valor, the 7 is trying to expand upon that success, that victory of the 6, right? And as it expands, it's hard energy, right? The wand in the middle is coming up crooked. There's a struggle, but the message is the struggle is worth it. If you are true, if you pursue your will and your passion with love, you can continue to refine and expand upon this 6, right? Beautiful. This is really powerful energy to see. So much transformation and power coming in, right? Let's continue. Oh, wow. Not only did we have the 9, now we have the 6. Success. Balance, stability, right? The 6 in some ways is the most secure. Or if the 9 is the most powerful, the 6 is the most secure. It's the most balanced. It is the middle way, right? So much overflowing magic transformation in that physical realm. And it's coming from connecting to this energy, right? Embodying the teacher, listening to the teacher, learning to flow with that tradition, looking to that grounded ancient past, to the ancient knowledge, to those traditional ways, thinking in this perspective, thinking in that Venusian unfolding of universal cycles, right? That goddess energy, to her, our lives are but a blip, right? The Hierophant is someone who can recognize that and move with the cycles, ride them, through them, drive them. And when you can embody that energy, you'll bring this incredible success, right? That security, that foundational energy, right? But not just that success, but profound, expansive gain, right? Expanding outwards. Magic. 6-9. Wow. I love it. Let's continue. The success and the key to the success is about pursuing your passion, beginning this passionate pursuit anew, right? Striving after someone. And it's connected to this Hierophant energy, right? So what I'm getting here is that maybe there's an opportunity for learning. There's an opportunity to teach. There's an opportunity to connect with those traditional knowledge forms. Take those opportunities. Pursue this passion. Pursue this connection, right? This will bring in the success as you light this new torch and are striving in this new direction. All right. Now we have the 9 of Wands. This is one of the most powerful and positive readings I've drawn, and I can't even remember when. That's so beautiful. Oh my gosh, strength, right? The 9 in Wands, that fiery, passionate energy, right? This is about having the strength and power to build your success, being in that passionate, transformative energy that it will cause you to do and to move and to manifest. So not only are you taking on this new perspective, this new pursuit, this new energy, but you are doing so with that fiery intensity, This is about truly being inspired and throwing yourselves into something, embracing that, being in this power, in this strength, and manifesting that will to bring about that transformative success, that physical abundance, right? This is about, if you're building a business, this is that business coming to fruition in success. If you're trying to find a home, this is gaining that home, right? The key to all of this, to that success, is to be inspired and to throw yourself into it with that passionate, fiery intensity. Wow. Beautiful. Amazing energy. Okay. Before I flip, please give me a like and a subscribe. The likes really do make a difference. They boost everything within the algorithm, and it's good karma and a good blessing. And if you are at all interested in a private reading, please send me a message, snappyddts@gmail.com, or you can find me on the Myth and Lore Discord, Snappy or Lady Snappy. Okay, so let's take a look here. Here is our total Saturn square, you know? So we're going to begin with this side here. Dominion, the Two of Wands. So the key to this inspiration, to this new perspective, this new passionate beginning, is to assert your will, to assert what you want. You have the power and the way and the ability. You just need to direct it, to be inspired, right? And part of this is going to come from that community. To look to these relationships. There's so much loving power here and energy and connection, you know? Embrace it. Let this energy flow with you to channel this energy into new pursuits and new directions. Wow. It's just such intense, magical energy, you know? And it's about just following after your will, knowing what you want and imagining it and pursuing it. And if you can do that with passion, the love is going to come in abundance. And that love can also already is here and can already also help you. It's like this cyclical, powerful, unfolding beauty, you know? Love it. Let's go here, right? We talked about this a bit already. The key to the success and to the gain is to pursue this energy of the Hierophant, right? The one who embodies that Venusian authority, that Venusian power in Earth, in Taurus, right? You know, this is that energy of Hathor enthroned. Don't see this as a priest, see this as Hathor, okay, right? And that energy, that connection, embodying that energy and looking to the teachers and to that traditional knowledge will bring that gain, will bring that success. Beautiful, incredible. Okay, right? The Knight, right? The Knight of Cups energy, that energy of pursuing after that divine feminine, that love, right? That connection. The one who has that cup, it's the Grail Knight, right? The one seeking after that holy grail, which is that great mother, right? This is that energy. If you embody that energy and you connect to that Hierophant, if you pursue knowledge with that purity, right? If you become that Galahad, that, you know, you seek after this, right? You will be transformed by it. You need to go on your Grail quest, right? And you need to pursue that with as much passionate fire as you can muster, and to be valorous about it, to be true to what you want and what you wish, you know? The key is just to throw yourself at this and to move towards it, to chase that mother energy, to fill that cup, to be transformed, to become that Hierophant and to seek that Hierophant. Love it. Okay. Next, we're going to do our crosses. Our first cross, right? This new perspective is about connecting to this Hierophant, right? It's about embodying this energy. It's about really striving after this. So in order to be the Hierophant, you must be that learner, right? The Hierophant is the one who strives after wisdom, who knows themselves and is in that constant search of self, right? And to do that, you need to pursue this new fiery direction and be valorous, be true. In spite, it's not going to be easy, right? This is going to require a lot of learning, a lot of testing, a lot of commitment. But if you can manifest it, great gains are coming. Yeah, because when we look at the other direction, loving, fulfillment, satiety. If you can connect and embody this energy of the Hierophant, community comes. And that community that is loving and reciprocal, that is expansive and outpouring, that can give in charity, right? Not only are you completely sated in all of the loving connection that you need, but you have more than enough love to give and share, and are giving and sharing. Beautiful. Then you have that 9, that strength, that fiery, passionate energy, right? Of movement, of creation, of having that strength and power to move mountains. And we're seeing it's connected here to that community, right? It's connected to this charity, to this outpouring of love. And it's connected to that pursuit of knowledge, to embodying the Hierophant. Love it. So this is what this reading is all about. It's about taking responsibility, connecting to that divine feminine, listening to the traditional laws of the universe, going back to that ancient past, trying to embody that Hathor, really connecting to those ancient ways, looking for the teachers, learning and striving after wisdom. And if you strive and pursue this, great gain and success will follow. If you can be that knight and you can manifest your will, you can embody this energy, right? If you can take on new perspectives and move with that strength and that enthusiasm, you can manifest the success, right? If you are valorous and true and pursue that fiery passion that's been inspiring you, the gain will come. If you can connect to that community as well, right? The community is there to help you grow and to inspire. It's all connected and it all flows together with this energy of that Taurus and Venus, that Hierophant, that teacher, embodying and learning from this energy, right? It's that duality. Beautiful. Connect to that inner divine feminine. Learn to trust your intuition to move and flow with that natural magic. Learn to embody it, to possess it, and to wield it. To move through these cycles and to see the present is but a moment in that ever expansive flow. All right. That's the reading. Okay. I hope that resonated with you all. It certainly resonated with me. Truly magical. All right. So we are going to now end the reading with one final sortes. We are going to go back to Euripides. Okay. Muses, guide my hand. What is the final message this evening? Inspire us. Wow. They have covered their heads with their robes to keep the sun's beams from the taint. Oof. Sometimes you have to expose yourself and be burned to be transformed, and the sun needs to shine into that taint, into that darkness. We have to remove the veils, right? And perceive the beauty, gaze into the abyss, and to see what is actually there, not just manifest monsters in our imagination, but learn to perceive the universe and to embrace what is and take responsibility. All right? That's the message. Peace and love. I hope that resonates with you, and I will see you again tomorrow for our daily tarot readings. Thank you very much.